What is a high value man? Money. Earns minimum of $10,000 a month adjusted per state. Length. Earns that much money for the last 3 to 5 years. Group acceptance. He's known by other high value men. Network. Has a network of other high value men. Visibility. With position and income at LinkedIn level. I talk about this all the time when we do the Pop the Balloon reviews. Some dude said that he funds businesses. I'm like, man, where you get this money from?
Your name and age?
I'm Sammy. I'm 30.
Sammy, what do you do?
I fund people's businesses anywhere from 50K to 200K, and I fix people's credit.
Okay.
What is that? What is your job, sir? Anybody know that? See that? And again, shout out to Kevin Samuels. He was saying your job needs to be LinkedIn level. How you gonna put? I help people get business. I fund people's business loans, and I do credit repair. How do you fund people's businesses? With what money? Where are you getting that bread from? Are you funding this out of your own pocket? See, I've asked too many questions, man. I gotta know, because you have to look at this. Let's say the guys with daughters. You got to start asking more questions. Don't let these young men just bullshit you like this. Utility. He's relied upon and useful to the group. You have certain skills that will help your network of other high value men. Okay? Now, going back to the conversation. Should high value men pay all of the bills while married? High value, $100,000 or more a year. I didn't say rich. I said high value men. And the poll starts now. Should high value men pay all of the bills? 70% said no. Oh, Jesus. Are you serious? 70% said no. 29% said yes. Because we know that 25% of men make $100,000 or more. That's pretty good. I like that. Okay, so now that we got that out the way, some of the lost archives of Kevin Samuels, rest in peace, that a lot of guys they skipped over. And these are actually some of my favorite live streams of his, where he used to talk to the guys. I want y'all to listen to what Kevin Samuels says about paying all of the bills. And I hope the ladies are here as well, because we just gonna talk about it. Let's get to it.
Rank amongst men. We're not going to talk about men in comparison to women in this stream. Any man, any male that comes in talking about what a man should do because of what a woman does, I want you guys to call him male. I'm gonna tell you right now, women, your money is no good with me. The women I deal with, you don't bring money with me. I don't care what you do. Pull out your wallet if you want to. You will get fired doing that shit with me. Yes, I don't play that bullshit. Don't even push it forward like you about to do something. You don't want to build the resume. You don't want to actually have it where it counts to have the real leverage. You want her to respect your masculinity and your manhood because you have a penis and an XY chromosome. It don't work that way. Women respect resources. You can't check a bitch because you got nothing to check with. The only place you dominate is in the bedroom. Dominate on the balance sheet. Dominate on your wallet, which is your accomplishments. Any woman that you choose to deal with, her money should be no good with you if you're 100% man. You pay everything. Why? Because it keeps her in her feminine when she's with you. I don't give a shit. The women I deal with, they know I don't care what you do when you're not with me.
Every time I reference this video, I always like to point that part out because I talked about this prior to seeing this video. Okay? How I used to date in the DMV. It's the same way that Kevin Samuels just described. I don't care what the hell that woman was doing while she wasn't with me. But when she with me, she gonna get that damn soft life treatment because I know how she gonna act around me because I'm very selfish. I'm going to get what I want. So with that aspect, I agree with him. But women share that part and they'll say, hey, Kevin Samuels said that you should pay for everything. But they always forget that Kevin Samuels said, when you're with me, when you're with him, he's not paying any of your bills. So that's not what that means. He's saying that, hey, while you're in my company for that weekend, 3 days, whatever, you good. Because we enjoying each other's company, we get to go eat, sneak in, you get that grass wall treatment, and it is what it is. I'm going to send your ass back off, and you can go ahead and take care of your own household. That's what Kevin Samuels was trying to explain, but women misunderstood. And that's why I tell you guys, stop dating broke-ass women. That should be your preference. Now, if you haven't dealt with women who take care of their own households, because I promise you, you will have a better dating experience if you stop dating broke women who always got their hand out. You have to make sure that these women can take care of their own responsibilities, have a career, be grounded, care about their appearance, live in a nice neighborhood. These need to be staples for you guys. Because I hate when you use that damn McDonald's worker analogy. That's a broke woman, and she gonna be expecting you to fund certain things that she can't pay for herself. I'm telling you, stop dating broke women. I don't care how many times a woman will call you broke for not spending money on her on social media. Who cares? You know you got bread, right? So if a woman tries to shame you by saying, oh man, you broke because you don't want to take me to Fleming's. Cool. I'm broke then. And then post a picture on your Instagram taking yourself to Fleming's with that nice ass tomahawk steak. But yeah, it's cool. So yeah, stop dating broke ass women, man, and you'll have a better experience on the dating market. And those women will allow you to do certain things that most men won't be able to. You won't have these conversations about a woman asking you to pay a bill, because when she with you, she get to chill. She get that little soft life, relax, and she gonna remember that. And that's how you keep those women around for years and years, because they'll look back to the time that they spent with you. I had an amazing time with that man. Wonder what he up to. They're gonna look on your Instagram, see you still living right. You may be still unattached, and they gonna send you that, hey, what's up, big head? And you in there again. You get to hit that thing one more time. Oh, all right.
Well, you don't even tell you about the guy. I don't care. All I care is how you operate when you're here. Will that be the way it is always? No. Eventually, I'm going to pick one. I don't want a rotation for the rest of my life. Pick one, maybe two. Every time I looked over, I kind of saw 50-50 comments. 50-50 comments. Well, what do I get? Well, what do I get? Well, what do I get? Nothing. You get nothing. 50-50, you get nothing. You can't make no demand either. You can barely 50-50, you're doing enough to take care of you. You get nothing. Zero. 50-50 has always got nothing. 100% gets everything. Oh, I'll be 70-30. See, 70-30 is still on that bullshit. 70-30 is still on that timid, lazy, cheap thing. It's still trying to get the free lunch. You don't want the responsibility. There is no such thing as unconditional love. I only want to deal with people on conditions. I don't want to be loved unconditionally. I want to be loved with hellified conditions. Yep. I want conditions. Because I have conditions on myself. Your conditions ain't harder than mine. The question is, can you keep my attention? See, this is a twist for a lot of dudes. Because a lot of dudes don't have the confidence of their accomplishments to talk like this. When you speak like this, it's from a theoretical result of facts, data, statistics. I'm going to persuade you with the validity of my argument as to how things should be between men and women. Versus the way my boys move is we just show our work. I don't care what it should be. There's my resume. 815 credit rating. Much less talk this way. Much less talk this way.
What y'all think? So the reason why I like that is because it puts things into perspective about Kevin Samuels' message. You have to remember that Kevin Samuels was talking to or trying to get men to become high value men. If that's not your goal, then that shouldn't apply to you, or you shouldn't be offended by what he said. Because essentially the guys that he's talking to, yeah, I'm talking to the guys that make over 100,000. You're supposed to be paying for everything, so on and so forth. But if you don't subscribe to that, it's perfectly fine. But there are some caveats to that message. And shout out to Kevin Samuels for bringing that up. And I told you guys that I'm not a high value man. I'm not a networker like that. Okay? But my marriage is different than most people, in these spaces, because most of you guys, you want traditional households. You want to have kids and buckaroos running around, which will require you to have your wife stay at home. Because if you are a high value man, then that will be the primary goal. You want your wife to be the one teaching your children. And she's, staying at home, taking care of the kids, taking care of the house while you pay all the bills, but you're getting something in return. She's raising your kids. She's taking care of your household. That's not how my household works. Maybe if I would have stayed married when I was younger, then yeah, it would have been like that. And it actually was like that when I got married to my daughter's mother. Okay? That was a long time ago. But yeah, she didn't work. But now, in my current marriage, no, we both work, but she works part-time now because she don't have to work. And that's the difference. Okay? And I want women to understand that you have to understand what type of household dynamic you want. Do you want a household dynamic where you work, but you don't have to work? And what I mean by, having to work is if you get laid off from your job, then you guys have to decrease your way of living. Okay? You have to live off his one income. And that directly affects the way you guys are living now. So for example, if you're living in upper class because you work and he work, but you lose your job, you guys now have to downgrade to just middle class or maybe even lower because of that fact. So that's the difference between having to work and, not having to work at all. All right? Because there's a lot of women that do things from home, but they do it to make extra money. So, it is what it is, to keep themselves busy. But yeah, if you're going to be a high value man, that is what is expected in regards to what Kevin Samuels was trying to say. So this is why this live stream is important, because we need to put things into perspective and you need to understand where you land. Now, I'm not saying, Kevin Samuels or my opinions trump your own decisions that you make. But if you're going to go out there telling the world that you're a high value man, you got to live up to the standards that was set by Kevin Samuels, because he was actually probably the first person that introduced it in these spaces. And I know people like to combat that. It's been out there for a while. Even Kevin Samuels said it's been out there for a while, but he was the one that made it popular. Now everybody got their own examples of being a high value man, and it's got watered down. It's just so much. But ultimately, Kevin Samuels is responsible for that. So yeah, so I just wanted to put things into perspective, because I mentioned this recently about men in high value, and I actually put out that video explaining why I'm not high value. Okay? So yeah, but if you guys believe that, that's what it is. That's what it's going to be. Okay? So what y'all think about that? Because, it's actually on par. 29% said that they, pay all the bills if they're a high value man, and 70% said no. Go back and look at my 100K video. It was 25% of men. It was 12% of women who made over 100K or something like that. 12 or 14%. I want to say 12. Okay? So yeah, so that, it's accurate from the little small group study that we just did. It's pretty cool.